All right, what is up, everybody? So I said I'd be doing these videos here. So in the middle of my work day here, I'm going through currently the press conference and everything because it is A1 weekend. It is absolutely here. Super stoked. It's been a long off season, and I just want to put out a couple last minute videos here for a couple of things for you guys, just so you had some stuff to hold you over until we get to race day live tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time there. And I am just as excited as all of you. So you can see in the background here, frame we are spraying out here, Husky frame going back to white. It was blue, so fun little project there. Now, this video here is 3 things that I will be watching for here come A1 tomorrow. And these are not necessarily just night show things. These are also practice day things. These are just a few main things that I want to keep an eye on. Want to thank our presenting sponsor this year, Rev X Oil. Make sure to check them out. There's a link in the description down below. Also want to thank all the members who joined our Thirsty Thursday members only live stream last night. We had a great chat, so make sure to jump in and join the member area. If you join the B-Class Bench Racers, you can be in on those Thirsty Thursday conversations. We talked a wide range of things, conspiracy, moto, locations, weather, that kind of stuff. We talked all that. So if you want to get in on that, go join the members area over there. And there will be a video coming out later tonight also once I get through all the press day stuff and see the press day videos and things like that. So look for that later tonight / early tomorrow morning before the race gets started. Because there have been a few spicy meatballs here in the press conference so far. So, top 3 things that I am watching here at A1. Number 1 thing here, and these are in no particular order. These are just the 3 main things that I'm going to be looking for. So my first thing is going to be the Lawrence Brothers setup, right? So we have Jet and Hunter on the new 2025. We've all heard it. They've been struggling with setup. The new 25 is not as great in Supercross as it wasn't for outdoor racing, for motocross. So it'll be interesting to see, did they get the setup? How is it going? How does this affect them, right? So with that, they have a short time to test, basically. So they had like 5 or 6 days on the bike. They went to Paris. They didn't have the full-blown race bike, but they had most of the parts there that they needed, especially in the suspension chassis components area. Obviously, it didn't go super great. They said they were struggling there. Then they immediately went to Australia, where they raced essentially stock bikes. And that went okay, but again, jet crashes out there, so whatever. And then they came back, and they didn't come back till maybe it was a week, even 2 afterwards, which only gave them like maybe 5 or 6 weeks to actually test here before we get into A1. So I'll be interested to see what it's like. Basically, how I'm going to judge this, right? Because it's kind of it's a moving scale, but there's a couple things I'm going to look for. If Jet's in the top 2 in qualifying from right off the rip, like free practice, they say yeah he was top 2 time, he's top 2 in Q1 and top 2 in Q2. Everything's fine. I think it'll be good. We'll see how the night show goes. But I'm watching for this specifically in qualifying. I'm also going to watch Hunter, because if Hunter's really, really struggling and way back, like I don't expect Hunter to be in the top 3 in qualifying. But if Hunter is 10, 11, 12, 15, whatever, that's a problem. If Jet's 3rd or worse, I think that's a big problem. And it's going to signal problems. Now, maybe, again, they miss setup first qualifying and second qualifying. They get it back under control. And if that's the case, okay, cool. Then they just miss the setup a little bit on the first qualifying. But they at least have a direction and know what they're doing. So that's what I'm going to be watching for with the Lawrence Brothers, basically, is setup. How do they look when they're on screen? Does the bike look settled? Does the bike look smooth and flat? If you guys are hearing that, I apologize. It's the electric heater just turned on. It's super effing cold here and snowing today like crazy. Like, it's unbelievable. So anyway, moving on. Second thing I'm going to be watching for, Sexton. How does he look coming out? Now, again, last year, we all heard everything's fine, everything's fine. We've had a few struggles, but we've got it. We're set. We're good. And now we've come to find out this year that like the week before A1, he wasn't even hitting whoops. He was going around the whoops at the test track there, and the bike was definitely not fine, and they chased that bike all year, basically till outdoors. So this year he's coming in, he's saying we're in a much better spot. I talked to some people last night. He said he's in a much better spot in private conversations to them. So how will Chase do? Now, this is going to be another kind of sliding scale, but if he's towards the top of the board, 1, 2, 3 in qualifying, I think it'll be okay. We'll see what the bike looks like when he's on screen, because that's also another thing. And then we'll watch the night show, obviously, but I'm going to definitely be watching qualifying for how settled that bike is. What does it look like with him going through the whoops? Is he smooth? Is he teeter-tottering? Because Chase can ride whoops. Chase can skim the shit out of whoops. So I'm going to keep an eye on that and see if my eyes think that bike setup is better, and then we'll see how he actually does and go from there. And then the final thing that I'm going to be watching here will be Prado. How does he look? How does he handle? How does he handle? Because last year we all know he came in and he did, the first 4 races or whatever. But that was knowing, hey, I'm not here for the championship. I'm not here to do anything other than to learn and get some reps under my belt. This year he's here to race. He's here to be here all year. Does he start off slow? Does he start off fast, pushing it, hit the deck? How's the bike look? How does he look? How does he handle qualifying? Because, yes, he was here last year and he did 4 of these, but 2.5 of them were mutters. And the opening round was the opening round. He was in B practice. Like, there's all this stuff. Like, again, change of manufacturers, all of this that is going to be something to definitely keep an eye on. And Prado is going to be one of those things. I'm not going to full-blown judge Prado essentially off qualifying. We'll see how it goes when we get to the night show. But I am curious as to how he handles it. Where is he at qualifying wise? There's several things here kind of up for a year where we feel like we know as much as we actually know, because there weren't a ton of switches team wise. Everybody's kind of still where they were. All the chassis are kind of the same. The 25 Honda is new, but it's basically a 24 just with some stiffer components. For a year that we should know so much, there are things to watch. Couple honorable mentions here. Obviously, we'll be looking at Jordan Smith in the 250 class there on the Triumph, Styles Robertson on the Triumph there. And we'll be looking, Kenny said he switched suspension companies, so keep an eye on that. How does he look? What do you think he does? Barsha, another one to keep an eye on here. What's he look like now that they're under that Rockstar Husky gas tent? So all these things to keep an eye on. Comment down below if you've got anything major that you're going to keep an eye on here during qualifying in the race. Those are my top 3 things that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. Super excited for A1 tomorrow. Again, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. Keep an eye out for the press day wrap-up video here, which I'll do later tonight. So you might see it either later tonight or early tomorrow morning. And we'll see everybody on the next one.